Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning and we have some fun stuff to do in the garden today. I'm so excited because we are going to plant and do the entire soaking process and all the steps. Our Ranunculus and probably our Anemones, but definitely our Ranunculus. The only thing is I studied all the steps on how to do this, and I've been researching it. I've been reading books. I've been watching people that are willing to share their information, and I feel like I've got it. But I did not think about the fact that you've got to, for the next 2 weeks while we're sprouting these, keep them at like 45 to 50 degrees. And we have been getting some kind of mid 50s at night, but during the day we're getting up to the high 80s, and so the greenhouse is definitely not the answer during the day. And they also don't like to fluctuate, so you don't want to have them down at 45 and then bring them back up to 85 and high 80s. That's just not good for them. So I have researched possibly buying a new refrigerator for my tulips and my ranunculus only, kind of like a smaller mid-size, but I really don't want to do that right now because the goal is we're doing our pantry makeover and we want a new refrigerator for the inside to hold our normal items. I want one that has the long drawer that pulls out that you can lay the items instead of the two deeper drawers. I want to go with a different way, so I'm going to be taking that refrigerator that we have now and putting out in the garage. So it just doesn't make sense to go randomly buy a refrigerator for the next 2 weeks. So I don't think my little refrigerator upstairs that's holding my tulips is going to work. So I'm going to, for the next 2 weeks, take everything off the bottom shelf of my refrigerator and move it up to be able to get all this into mine. We'll see. So we're going to get started with that. We also need to work on our pansies and get those planted because we're going to be keeping these in the greenhouse, and I'm going to be getting those pots done. And then other than that, and we are going to try Roselle. I have looked at a lot of different recipes, and I've kind of combined a little from this one, a little from that one, and I think I've kind of put a recipe together that I think I would like. So we're going to make Roselle jam today. We're going to try it together to see how it works, so we'll do that. So let's get busy. I am so excited about this. Let me go get all of my corms and my anemones. I'm not taking a look at the garden just yet. I was about to go inside to go get the corms, but I want to just make sure that everyone is looking good because you never know what you can come out to the next morning. But my cabbage bed looks really good. I'm so pleased with the new straw flower replacements that I did. Definitely learned a lesson on that. I will let them get bigger in the cups, and they are doing great. That white powder is DE. The other day I was calling it DT, but you have BT, DE. It can get confusing, but DE is diatomaceous earth, and that just helps with some little bugs. So I just kind of did one treatment of that, and I'm going to be spraying with BT often. I'm going to make sure I'm doing a better job, but those are doing great. And then over here, this little guy, I might have to clip him because, yeah, let me go get a clip. I'm not going to just forget that. I'm going to go get a clip. Today I'm pulling up the lettuce. I just do not like that look at all, and wish I would not have done that. It just makes it look kind of weedy, so I'm going to get rid of that today. But we're looking good. I do need to make sure I'm staying on top of my spray because I can see something is getting that one, so we'll definitely do that tonight. But my snapdragons are looking really nice, and we are really bounced back in this bed. Over here, I am so pleased. You know, I think I mentioned the other day I paid like $4 for the little ones. I went back and looked. It was $1.97, and I got it last spring, and she is just, I'm going to have to figure out what this is because I am more than pleased. I have gotten my $1.97 like 5 million times over. Also, by the way, I'm going to come sit out here and have breakfast, which I love to do on Saturdays. We had company last weekend, and we ended up going out to eat for breakfast. And one of the days that I was going to do the cinnamon rolls, so I'm making those right now because believe me, we do not eat cinnamon rolls. Those are amazing. We don't eat cinnamon rolls every weekend. These are just they need to be eaten. So breakfast in the garden it is, but our snapdragons back here are looking great. These two are looking fabulous. Everything is looking really, really good. I just have to stay on top of my BT because I don't know if that's new that's not looking good. So we are going to definitely spray really, really good tonight. Snapdragons are looking great. This bed looks really, really good. We are getting so much closer. Look at this. Oh, she's going to be beautiful. We're getting closer. We will lose these if we have a frost. So that's why I really want to enjoy them as much as I can before then. These are zinnias that I just had some seeds that had to be used. I need to clean the leaves out of that, but normally I would not plant zinnias at this time of year. Look at this straw flower. She's really starting to take off, and that white powder will come off whenever I water them. I'm loving my new little signs I put out in my last vlog when I cleaned the greenhouse up. Everyone's looking so good. Really, really good. And our snapdragons that we planted last night all look really, really good. So I'm pleased with that. And this is where all the bulbs are going to be going. So, and we already have bulbs in there, so that's great. This looks fantastic. And then look, she's going to be opening up very, very soon. I cannot wait. We have some okra we need to, oh yes, we have okra we need to harvest today. Look at all of these that are starting to come out now. We have bulb, 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 bulb. That's going to be beautiful. And our row of snapdragons are looking good. All right, let me go get busy. And I did not mention, we have snapdragons and strawflower, little pansies. And I'm going to be probably going ahead and getting rid of this unless I make that jam, and it is the most fabulous jam I've ever had in my life. I may hold on to my Roselle to try to make more, but we'll see. And over here we're doing good because I'm ready to get rid of that hanging over. Okay, so I have everything right here. I just opened my refrigerator again and I was just like, how am I going to make this work? I've got to get trays in there. So I'm going to make it happen. I'm a determined girl. Okay, so I'm going to separate everything. I have the Anemone Galilee Pastel Mix, Ranunculus, that's what we're working on today. I have the Peach Salmon Amandine, which I'm so excited about the Ranunculus. I have Anemones Full Star Strawberry. I'm not doing that right now. Ixia Mixed. We'll wait on that. Italian Ranunculus, Elegance Rosa Charo, I believe it is. Then we have Anemone Full Star Strawberry. So, you know what? This might not be as bad as I thought it was going to be because I will absolutely be able to get 40 corms, let me hold this up, in this tray with no problem at all. So I'll be able to, I think I was envisioning having all of these in trays. That's not the way it works. So I think we're going to be just fine. So okay, breakfast is ready. I'm about to go sit and have breakfast in the garden, but before I do, we're going to start our first set of soaking, but I had to go ahead and at least bring it out here. I am loving these little plates from Hearth and Hand. I have the dinner plate and salad plate and the bowls from this new collection from fall. It's still available. I have it linked for you down below. I picked up the I think they're calling this sour cream maybe, but then I also picked up the fall green. There's also a Christmas green. But this is the small little dessert plate that has the little Christmas tree in the center that you can barely tell if you want to use it all year round, which I will. But I'm using it right now and I love it. But I had to have a bite. I'm telling you, these cinnamon rolls are not to eat every day at all. But like I said, we had company and we needed to use it up because it was planned for a company breakfast. But we ended up going somewhere else, so I really want to get these used. They are fantastic. They're from Joanna Gaines, and they are, I'm telling you, I don't even know if I've had one from a quality bakery as good as this. I mean, because it's like right out of your oven and it's hot, but so good. Really recommend these. All right, let me put this down. Let me go get my water hose. Let's start soaking this, then we'll go wash and clean our hands, and then we'll come eat. So I guess I never noticed this before because we were using it for the purposes of painting, but they've put the company logo name all over it, which is going to make it very difficult. But I'm just going to use a permanent marker and we'll make this work. And write our first one. So I'm just going to do my best and write it and tape it on front. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Now we're going to start setting up our trays. I'm just doing the little tinfoil trays, and I have I've doubled it up just in case there's a little hole in it. There should not be because these have been my seed starting trays. This is one part about having a greenhouse that I absolutely love. Now for my area, I cannot keep things out here, you know, during the winter because except for something that can actually handle the cold weather. So that's a trade-off where some people up north can use their greenhouse a little bit more. But this part I love. Let me just drag the water hose in here, fill it up. I've got the counter space. That really does work good. So let's fill this up. We have our peach. And we're going to take a look at them first just to make sure everything looks okay. They are the most unique looking little creatures. Look at that. This is our first set of peach. Just going to put them in there. And then let's get our second set of peach angled. They're in there. They're definitely two different sizes. These are much larger. I am so excited. I wish this would be ready next week. We are not supposed to see them till late February when they actually come up from the ground, so that's exciting. So let's set this for 30 minutes and we'll come back and I'll just stir it around, make sure there's some oxygen in that water and airflow moving through. See you in 30 minutes with that project. Okay, so I went and grabbed my garden journal so that I can sit and really think about the rest of this. If I'm already using the space on the bottom shelf of my refrigerator, I might as well make the most out of this next 2 weeks. Really need to focus in on this and figure out how I'm going to make this work, because I want my husband's support from here on out on growing these, and it's going to be a little interesting. Okay, I decided we are definitely going to go ahead and start the others and get them soaking, because if like I said, if I'm taking up the room in the refrigerator, let's make the most of it and make it 2 weeks instead of 4 weeks. So let's get these trays. Okay, so we are going to start with our Anemone Full Star Strawberry. It doesn't show up good on the camera. I'll definitely insert a photo. But, oh yeah, that's good. So this is this one. We're going to start this one right now, and I'll be right back to show you the next one. So these look more like an acorn to me. Don't know if you can see that. It's almost like a piece of a bark or acorn. Okay, I did check, and everyone else is saying anemone, so I feel pretty good about that. The Galilee Pastel Mix. How beautiful is that? So that is that. Okay, so you do not need to pre-soak the ixia. It says they prefer being planted directly where they will grow. They take time to make their roots, and they go through the fall and winter. So that is good news. That just opened up space. So we're only going to need space for 2 of these trays in the refrigerator. That is great news. So I have to tell you, I keep going back and forth on this. I'm going to take this upstairs and we're going to go see if this fits in my little refrigerator that I've devoted to, or I dedicated it just to tulips right now. It's kind of in our media room, and we keep waters and sodas in there when we know we have company. I have this, but if this fits in there and I can cut some holes in the bottom, I could make this work for this year. So let's go take a look. Okay, I'm not letting myself walk by this one more time without giving him a little help. So we're just going to take this. I have one of these clips. These are amazing to have. And we are going to just kind of clip it right there to help it stop being stressed at the stem. It's very, very healthy. It's just that its stem is a little wonky and it's getting a little heavy. Look at there. It's fixed. Okay, here's the refrigerator. It's in the cabinet, and I already have my tulips in here. So these are 4 bags of tulips. Let's take my water out. I put this little thermometer in there so that I could monitor the temperature. We're at 46 degrees, so that is perfect, absolutely perfect. Actually, I may turn it down just a little. Okay, fingers crossed. So we know that doesn't fit, of course, and you know it won't go that way, so that's completely out. We did it. This is the answer. So I'm just going to use these. I'm going to punch some holes. I'm going to run to the store and get the ones that have the lids, unless I have enough lids. I may have enough lids. We have 4 shelves we can work with. So, 2 things. Number 1, it works. Number 2, we need to buy some more ranunculus seeds because we have more room. I have to do my absolute least favorite task in the garden. I mean absolute least favorite, but I have to do my fish emulsion. So we are going to get our watering can and do the entire garden. It's going to get fish emulsion, so let's go. Okay, we are going to go ahead. This is the bed that I planted the alliums in the other day, and I know exactly where I planted them. And then I have one in the center, and I've made a little label card. This is going to be ixias and alliums. So we're going to put that right there. I've got a pack of 25 here, and then I've got another pack of 25. I am going to definitely start planting the 25 and hopefully get the other 25 in, because ixia bulbs like to really be close together and only about an inch apart. They are very social, as what I have read, and they only need to be planted about 3 inches deep, so we're going to do that as well. And I'm going to really start on this side, and so I know I have a bulb, a bulb, a bulb, and I'm just going to crowd these in as much as possible, and then I'll do the other 25 over there. Okay, it's complete. Now, if I was expecting this to sprout in the next few weeks, I would have not covered it up with pine straw like that. But because we've got all the way to go through the entire winter, I want to just kind of keep it warm and protected. So, she is all set. Okay, it is really warmed up and I need a break. So we have planted the pansies. That was on the list. We've been soaking. We've done 3 rounds of stirring the water. We have removed the lettuce and retopped it, and then we have done the fish emulsion to the entire garden. I think we're doing good so far. We're gonna go take a break, and then I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Okay, so welcome inside the kitchen. It looks like it's about to rain outside, so it's the perfect time to jump in here and try a recipe. Now, I'm not making this as a tutorial on telling you how to make it, because this is my first time making it. What I've done is I have looked at a number of recipes, and I've kind of pulled parts from each one on ideas on flavors that I think I would like, and kind of making my own. Now, this is going to be the deciding factor if I grow the Roselle plant again. I absolutely loved the flowers that she produces, so that might be a reason I would grow it again, just to enjoy the flowers. I did not love the tea, so I'm unless I'm really missing the recipe, I just found it to be too earthy, and I didn't enjoy it. So we're gonna see if I like the jam. If I love the jam, I'll grow it again. If not, then I might just grow it for the purposes of the flour, and that's it. But so I may not say all the steps on this because I'm just kind of bringing you along with me to try it. If it turns out to be fabulous, I'll definitely include the recipe below. Or if it's just pretty good, I'll include it. But if it's not good, I won't share. So what I'm gonna do is I froze these. I actually picked these this week. I froze them. They're still, the pods are still inside. I'm going to wash this, and hopefully that kind of helps them thaw out a little bit. And then we're going to separate the seed from the callus. I believe I'm saying that right, from the actual Roselle, and we'll start chopping it up. So let me do that now. Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera down, but I am actually taking a cutting board, and I've put another little super inexpensive one on top of it, so that in case this stains. And then I've got some gloves ready if I start to see this getting on my hands, because I don't want my hands to be stained. So let me put the camera down and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so inside of this is a seed pod, and we're going to keep that because that has natural pectin inside of it, which I did not know, and I can see I'm already getting stained. Let me get my gloves. Here we go. So we're just gonna peel this, sit it there so that we can chop it and keep the seed. So now I'm going to start 3/4 a cup of water on the stove boiling, and we are going to boil these for about 15 to 20 minutes because they're going to release their natural pectin, and we'll go from there. So let me go put this on the stove. Next step, we have our seeds boiling to get the pectin. Now we're going to take this with 6 tablespoons of water, and we're going to simmer it. It's not going to boil for about 15 minutes or until they're tender, and you can tell that it's going to really blend up nicely. Watching it simmer, and it's really fascinating to me to see that water is thickening up into a syrup, all because of the natural pectins that are coming from inside of that seed pod. I think that is really fascinating. And then I have the little calluses, however you pronounce that. It's also simmering, so we're going to go outside while this is sitting because it's going to take a little while, and we're going to go ahead and go to our other project we're working on, which is our Ranunculus. We need to go ahead and get the anemones and the Ranunculus put in the dish and get the soil on them because they've had plenty of time to plump. Okay, let me open my window back up. I had closed it because I thought the rain was going to start, but it's not raining yet, so that's wonderful. Okay, so they are ready. Let me show you the difference, and I'll turn the camera down. Okay, so here is one of the larger ranunculus that it has plumped up. I can definitely tell a difference. It looks nice and healthy and happy. Even these were the smaller ones, and they look much larger, so that's great. And then this is which one is this? The Galilee Pastel Mix Anemone. They look like a mix between a Hershey Kiss and an acorn, the way they're kind of shaped. I decided not to do the tape method. I've written on my little tag, and I'm going to put my tag in there just like that. And now I'm going to go water this one very, very lightly, and then I'm going to go ahead and go put it in the refrigerator upstairs, and then I'll go back and finish these. Again, I've shared, I'm not an expert, but why I'm sharing this journey with you is because if you have a passion that you're like, I want to try that, I just want to show you, hey, you can do it, and there's plenty of resources to learn. And if you have done this, I am so open for you to leave a comment and say, hey, I do it this way, or this might help. I'm so happy to hear any suggestions. But I tell you, I've read so many books, watched so many tutorials, so I think I've got it, but I'm always open to learn. So I'm going to go take these upstairs. Okay, we're all set. That is done. We are going to go down and finish our Roselle jam. I'm exhausted, but let's go make this. Okay, now we need to blend the Roselle. You can see that this is just the, it almost kind of thickened on its own. It looks like a real pretty jam already. And this is the seeds that made its own pectin, so that's the liquid. So I'm hoping this does not stain this. I'm going to wash it very, very quickly, but we need to go ahead and blend this. Okay, so next step, we're adding this pectin liquid into the saucepan. And then we're going to take, you can really see how thick that water is. That's just water and the seeds. And then we're going to take this and add to it. The good news is it did not stain. I just thought I'd let you know that, but I did wash it immediately after, but no problem. And I had washed the saucepan as well, and it did not stain, so we just kind of put that back in. We're going to put it on the stove and simmer it until it thickens. So it needs to simmer on the stove for about 10 to 15 minutes. We're not going to walk away from it because we do have to stir it often. So I'll show you as soon as it's finished. Okay, we have it simmering on the stove, and this is where we're going to add our sweeteners. So I'm going to add probably, I was looking at my notes, I like it a little sweeter, the idea of it being a little sweeter, so I'm going to do 2 heavy tablespoons of honey. I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of sugar. If this turns out great and I really enjoy it in the future, I might add my vanilla bean sugar. Today I'm just going to do a simple sugar. So we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of sugar, and then I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon, maybe a little bit closer to 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then just to brighten up the flavors, we're going to give just a little splash. Actually, I'll measure it. I'll do about 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice. This simmer for a little bit until it thickens. And then we're going to put it in our mason jar and let it cool. And we should have a nice jelly. We'll see how it tastes. I will go ahead and tell you that I took a little bit of it to make sure that the right amount of sweetener was in there, and it's actually really, really good. So I am very pleased. I can already tell you I will be making this or growing it again next year. I'm going to do it in a different spot, and I'm going to remember to trim it so that it gets bushy instead of tall and heavy. That was one thing I learned from it. I already cannot wait to grow this next year. So it's kind of a, maybe it'll continue to give me some more and I can make another batch, because we did this with about 10 of them. But it's just amazing to me that it literally by its seed pods thickened itself and made its own pectin. So that is great. And I added cinnamon, sugar, lemon juice, the little Roselles, and water, and that was it. So I'm really excited. I'll let you know tomorrow when I try it with the sourdough. I have this beautiful mason jar. I love these that have that design to it. So we're going to pour it inside of here. And we're going to let it cool. It'll take a couple of hours. That'll continue to help it thicken up. And then we will taste it. Tomorrow I'm making a fresh loaf of sourdough, and I think it's going to be delicious on top of that. I'm also going to get some cream cheese and put it with cream cheese and maybe some wheat thin crackers as an appetizer, so we'll taste test that. But for now, that's going to be the end of this, and I'll jump back on tomorrow and let you know how it is. Okay, I'm running out here while it has stopped raining to take a look at everything, just to make sure it didn't get too much of a beat down, because it has been storming and we're under tornado watches. But look at how beautiful that cabbage is. There, that looks really good. Let's see, and I accidentally left my greenhouse door open, so let me close it. Luckily everything is okay in there. Okay, everything looks really good here. Oh gosh, this took a little bit of a beating. Let me go get a stake for that. I'm just going to go ahead and grab as many of these because I have a feeling I might need them. Okay, that looks better. These all look really good, really good. These two zinnias look okay, so I'm not going to stake them. Everything over here looks really good. I do have an okra pod I need to grab. Now we need to check these back here. These were the ones I was most worried about, which I have more rocks coming. I'm just waiting for them to get them in. Okay, these look okay. All right, those are good. This one was already staked up, so that's probably what really helped her. Those look really good. Those look fantastic. Oh, these all did so good considering how bad it was raining. Okay, those all my snapdragons. I hope I didn't say zinnias. Everyone we just looked at are snapdragons. These are zinnias, and I'm not expecting a lot out of this because honestly I probably shouldn't have even planted those, but anything I get out of them, that'll be great. Let's check this bed. Look at all of these blooms this is going to have. It's going to be fantastic, but this all looks really, really good. Okay, I feel so much better. I've been inside honestly worried, but everything looks great. All right, let's get back inside because I can tell it is starting to rain again. Oh, let's check our... Oh, I didn't check these. Yes, those are doing fine. Those are doing fine. And I did trim our Roselle because it was just a bit out of control, but I'm really hoping to be able to make another jelly to get us through until next season. So hopefully we'll get some more and I can freeze them because that was absolutely delicious. And we should get blueberries this next spring season because she's been rooted and had her time to develop her base, and then we should get blueberries. Hey everybody, so it is actually Monday morning. I honestly did not get to step outside in the garden at all Sunday because it just rained and rained. So before I wrap this video up, we're going to do two things. One, I'm going to give you a review of the Roselle jam. That color is absolutely beautiful. I just took it out of the refrigerator and shook it up a little bit. It's fantastic. There's two things that I want to mention. I put about a fourth to a half of a teaspoon of cinnamon. I feel like that was too much cinnamon because I don't love cinnamon, but someone told me that cinnamon kind of helps balance the little bit of tartness, and I think next time I'll do like an eighth of a teaspoon and maybe even a little bit less, so that's just one change, very, very minor. It is delicious. It has this tartness to it that is so good. I put it with a little, I made a fresh loaf of sourdough yesterday, which by the way, when it's raining outside and you're cooking sourdough inside, that is just the best way to spend the day. When you really can't get outside and you're doing things inside, just baking that sourdough, because it takes all day long, is the best. And then putting a little cream cheese on it and then sprinkling this. Now the other part, it thickened up definitely, but it's not quite, it's more of a syrup. But so I'm almost calling this one a Roselle syrup, but that's because of my fault, and so I want you to learn from my lesson. So you make the Roselle I think they call them calyces. I'm not sure, I may be wrong, but that's one component. But the component of boiling the seed pods so that it makes its own natural pectin, I did that. I turned off the heat. It was really thick and looked great. I was like, let me let this cool for a minute. I ran outside to grab something. Literally, I think it was like one of my tripods. So it took me about 45 seconds. I walked back inside, took me another 45 seconds. So about 2 minutes from walking away from that pot with the heat off, those seeds absorbed every ounce of that liquid. So I was like, oh no. So I put maybe 2 tablespoons of water in there and then brought it back to a boil, and it seemed to bring out a lot of the liquids out of the seeds. But it wasn't the original pectin boiled water. And I would still say it, because of that, it still thickened up really nicely, but mine looks more like a syrup, but that's because I feel 100% it was because of that. So when you take that heat off, do not walk away. Sit it in a bowl, get those seeds out of there, because it sucked up that liquid so fast. But this is a must have. It is really, really good. And what I love about it, you can't buy this at the grocery store. Like, this is from the garden, fresh. Hi, Leo. And there's no flavor like this in the grocery store, so I love that. If there is, and I'm wrong, let me know, because I'm going to buy it in the off season. But no, hopefully I'll get more, and I can make one more jar, and I'll freeze those and make a jar later in the season. But that is it, and I thought I would give you a quick look at the garden, because after the rainstorm, it is amazing how everything grows. So let's go take a quick look. Okay, this is going to be super quick, but it is Monday morning. The last time you saw it was Saturday morning while we did the work. Look at these cabbages. They are just and our newest replacements. I love how these are larger on the end, and because we had to replace those are smaller, the straw flowers are just doing incredible. But is that not just the most beautiful bed you have ever seen? Oh my goodness, I just love that. Can you imagine when the flowers come up? And then over here our snapdragons are doing great. Our straw flowers. Everything just looks fantastic. Okay, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I am just, the sun is coming out and I just want to soak it in, but I've got other things to run to. It was good to walk through real quickly, but thank you for being here. Leave a comment and let me know what you're growing. I've been talking to a few of you and you've been catching me up on what's going on. Let me know what zone you're in. That is very helpful for me to kind of see where we all are. I love seeing that. So thanks so much, and I'll see you later.